Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to, if I could even speak in clear sentences, which is always a big if, a insomnia version of the Prof Hoff update, because you see, I did a video right before I left town for the evening about how the island of Dr. MODOK desperately needed to be buffed in terms of its rewards, and really not just rewards, but difficulty and side events. It's an event that I have heard from so many of you, from the people who are the people that I view like the best of the best players, to middle tier players, to upper middle tier players, you name it, I have heard from your category. And everybody hates this thing, right? I mean, they just look at it like reasons to quit the game, I've been told. I don't know if I'd go that far, but at the same time, I get how after a really enjoyable side quest month of May, this feels like literal dismay. So, we have some good news on one of those fronts. According to Kabam Mike this evening, even though if you're waking up across the pond, this was this morning since you're, asleep, hopefully. Thank you for all your patience as we work to address your feedback on the rewards for this event. We recognize that this store does not feature the rewards that our in-game players are looking for. So, for those of you who are Cavalier players, we'll be adding the following options to the store. So, specifically to the gold coin store under Hotel MODOK. They'll be adding, for 16 coins apiece, 5-star generic signature stones, limit 20. Now, they're generic signature stones, which is good. They're not the 1 out of 6 class-based RNG for 5-star signature stones, which when you scroll down, this is what we're talking about. So it's actually kind of amazing that this new edition is going to be the same price as the class, where you have no control, all chance. And you know what my theme is for 2020 on my channel. Kabam, give us more choice, less chance. And then 1,000 5-star shards, limit 15, and those are 20 apiece for 5-star shards. So here's the deal. Because, first off, again, it's kind of amazing that 4 stars are 40 coins and 5 stars are 20. I mean, that's a much better ratio than we're used to seeing. But regardless of whether or not you agree or disagree, one of the biggest complaints about this event in the store is, for those of you who've said, Prof, what about the 6-star shards and what about the 6-star, at least 6 stone crystals? Well, my belief is that we are so close to July 4th, and that's where they're going to try to get you, all you thirsty people out there who got 4 or 5 5-star awakening gems. And so you've got a bunch of god tier 5-star champs sitting at Sig 1. You're just so thirsty for these 6 stones. Well, there's a method to the madness. Let's awaken everybody, have no 6 stones to pump into them, unless in this case if you're a Cavalier. And then you know what we're going to do? We are going to wait until July 4th to milk you. We're going to just wait until you're so desperate for 5-star 6 stones, or especially, of course, 6-star 6 stones. You'll throw $500 at us to get those champions that you've awakened for months, or ready to awaken at least, more SIGs. And of course, that's also a prestige battle. But while I'm hearing from some people that this is so amazing in terms of an update, and there's actually one more thing to update before I forget. They're increasing the maximum Tier 5 basic catalyst fragments from 3 to 5. So when you look for the Tier 5 basic catalyst fragments, when you scroll all through this, and you eventually come to the Tier 5 basic catalyst fragments part, they're increasing this from 2 to 5, I believe. Or maybe this is already 5, so. It says 3 to 5 on the post, but right now it's 2. So maybe it's a typo and they meant 2 to 5. I don't know. All I know is that the biggest point of all in that video this afternoon was twofold. One, that the buffs on these bosses are BS. And that regardless of what randomizer you use, you're still going to be fighting something, depending on what path you take, you're still going to be fighting Caltrops, or Biohazard, or Spite, or what I always accidentally call it, Sprite. You're going to be fighting, all sorts of anti-player nodes. We're not talking about giving you a chance for life transfer, which used to happen in this event too. But the other thing I want to talk about that just completely angered me more than anything else in this godforsaken event is that when you talk about these 24-hour events, which we've had in the past, they always had the old 22-hour event milestone rewards. So just think, every day you're getting a free potion, a little bit of ISO, and yeah, you've still got these greater solo crystal shards, which nobody cares about. They're dated from 2016, essentially. But you get a free revive every day, which is going to help you clear content. And most importantly, before July 4th, you get 25 free units. You do that for 30 days. You get 750 free units, and that's exactly what they gave us last summer because I did a video over it praising them and telling everybody to hoard your units for July 4th. Well, this year, we're struggling. We're in a pandemic. The United States has had historic days of protests and riots, you name it. And so what are we doing while the world is hurting? We're going to take this away, and we're going to give you the same duration of the 24-hour event, but this time we're just going to give you greater solo crystal shards. We're not going to give you potions or revives or, of course, way too skimpy on the units. So, that's some BS. And guess what, Kabam Mike? You didn't answer that this morning or this evening, whatever time you wake up and watch this. You answered 1/3 of the problem, but the boss fights, which are BS, especially for most players who don't have, just a slew of rank 5 stars or rank 2 6 stars, they're just looking at this saying, well, I still don't think it's worth my time and effort, and certainly not risking. I had so many people tell me, so if you're watching this, it was not just you. They had to use 5 revives or more to get the boss down in this final fight. That's some BS. And then you add this into it, kabam, somebody should be fired that designed this because it's just dumb. It's like they don't even play the game or they don't even care. They're just looking to pass the time. And there's always going to be the Kabam defenders out there who say that we've gotten too spoiled and side quests didn't even used to exist, and so we should just take whatever they give us and shut up. Well, okay, fine. You can tell me, hey, you want a 6-pack of Coke? It's going to cost you $7 now, even though you're used to paying $3 for it. Well, that's the price you're going to charge. I'm just going to walk out of the store and not buy it. And I'm probably not going to come back to your store because I can find it cheaper somewhere else. That's what side quests remind me of, because you have other games out there that are more fun, that are less work, and if you do that enough with your players, they're just going to get burnt out and they're going to quit. This is supposed to be getting people excited for July 4th, a day that Kabam has to count on making such a majority of their summer revenue on. This is not the way to do it. And I don't even want to get into my random tangent, which is, of course, how come July 4th in the first place is such a huge holiday for a game that's centered in Canada? You know, we'll talk about that one some other video. But for now, those are my thoughts. They improved some aspects of it, and they should get some credit. But the other two big aspects, the BS nodes and the boss fights with the PI, and also the greater solo crystals that Kabam thinks are such trash that they're going to get rid of them altogether in the game. Yeah, you don't get a pass for me on this one. I don't care how much insomnia I have right now recording this video.